Hey y'all, this is Marley K. Hope everybody is well. Got something that I want to share with you. The Most High put on my spirit this morning, so I need to give it to y'all. I have been telling y'all for the last couple of years that Black people are going to be the face of the fall of this country. And we're going to be blamed for everything because we're always blamed for everything. No matter what is happening, we don't even have to have nothing to do with it. We don't even know nothing about it, but somehow it will get redirected back to us. And whether it's the CRT stuff, talking about Black history and making a whole stink about something that wasn't even going on in public education, uh, a curriculum that was taught in college, but you got people going to uh, school board meetings for K through 12 schools and talking about they don't want their kids learning about stuff and just all kinds of foolery. And then you look at these Black people in leadership. All of a sudden, over the last two national political cycles, say three, since President Obama was elected, there has been a shift to try to get all these Black people into these positions so that they will be the face or can be blamed for the fall of modern Rome, or Rome 2.0 slash Babylon slash Egypt. So I was listening to Deborah from Redirecting's webpage. Well, not webpage, her YouTube channel. And was thinking the same exact thing that I was thinking about why they got Miss Skiwi as the VP. And the primary reason is it's the same reason they got Tish James, or whatever her name is, the New York Attorney General. They got Fannie Willis in Atlanta prosecuting the Trump case, messing that up. You got Alvin Bragg, the prosecutor for the Southern District of New York, who's working in concert with Tish. I think her name's Tish James. I think that's her name. I don't know. I don't even keep up with these people. You got Hakeem Jeffries, who just happens to be the first Black, um, even though he's like not African American Black, but just for the sake of things, the first Black um, head of the House of Representatives. He was groomed to be in that position. You have all these Black people in media who, are telling Black women that they are needed to save America. And now all of a sudden we got this first Black woman who ain't African American Black, but just she looked like us, but she ain't us. We can officially say they not like us. None of these people I'm talking about, they're not like us. They are raccoon sellouts. They sell out their people. They ain't got us in them. They are heathens. But you're looking at, like, this, to me, this is like the final nail in the coffin. All these things are getting ready to start happening because they're grooming this Black woman to either be the president, the next president, which I don't think nobody's gonna vote for her. So I think they're putting her out here now, and something miraculous is going to happen to Papa, and she's just going to be the president for the next couple of months. And then Colt 45 going to be president. He's a shoe-in because if she is the nominee, or even if she's not the nominee, the Democratic Party is going to be in such a disarray that nobody's going to want to deal with them. And in my opinion, they're going to try to do the alphabet thing since they already had the first dude or the first guy, instead of the first lady. They had the first gentleman. So they were preparing you for the first gentleman for the LGBT uh, ticket. And so I think they're going to try to put up uh, Pete Buttigieg. I've always said that. He's been quiet these last 3 years while the country going down the tubes. All this stuff is happening with transportation. And he's been quiet. And I think he's been quiet and out of the way because they're going to put him up as a candidate for president, and you're gonna have to deal with his husband as the first gentleman. Uh, that's one ticket because they got to push this transhumanism agenda. Um, he's also groomed by the WEF. He's worked for McKinsey, so he's in. Um, Gavin Newsom, all that. So they have who they want. No matter who wins, who people vote for, the globalists will have their guy or girl. But the face or the collapse of Babylon is going to be that um, a, a face of black people. Black people's in charge, and all these things happen. Fannie fumbled the ball with Trump because she was doing corrupt stuff. Tish gonna be done fumble the ball. Alvin Bragg gonna be done fumble the ball. Um, you look at the black guy who's over the EPA, he's gonna fumble the ball. Like it's just so many areas where black people are. You look at the squad and the black people who are on the squad who are getting taken out by the ish people because they are um, either not speaking out the way that the ish people want them to, or they are just openly defiant and standing with the other people that the ish people are fighting with over yonder in the Middle East. So there are so many little pieces that are happening. And so when I see Kabami and Papa, after he said he's not going to endorse her, we know why he picked her, because he don't like black people. But the only reason he picked her, one, because she's married to an ish person, and so you have to look at her husband, who he has ties to. Um, it's just all these connections. You just always got to keep the connections at the forefront of your mind. She's been groomed. She's been picked, and I just you can see black women are going to be the face of the fall of this country. All this black feminism, she power, black girl magic. Black girls finna be blamed for tearing up the country. Black girls getting ready to be blamed for destroying the black community because we done put the men out of the homes. And I'm not saying me, because I'm not one of those women. But these women who are anti-man, don't like men, don't believe that men should be a part of society, berating, degrading boys, emasculating these boys, not making a space for them, not letting them do what the Most High created them to do and be what the Most High created them to be. Um, Everything is getting ready to fall on us. And it is clear now in the media. Oh, we gotta do this. Black men are gonna let us down, because black men, they got their own minds, and they have the spirit of the Most High. The Most High is waking us up, and He's telling them, "I'm come out of this system." If them hens want to be saviors and save Babylon, then let them, and they will fall with Babylon, and that is what's happening. And you're seeing a separation. So the sisters that are awakened, like myself, and the sisters that follow this channel and other channels who see what's happening, we're not taking part of any of it. We're just watching it unfold, and we're watching it fall. But there are a group of raccoon, um, system loving sisters, feminist sisters, sisters who grew up without fathers, who don't like black men, who never saw good black men modeled, who just got deep wounds and hurts and cannot move beyond that, and will sabotage all of us for that little for the cuts that they received as children, or for the cuts that they received in life, and they just gotta, they gotta be in control of everything. They cannot um, follow the order of the Most High. They don't understand the order of the Most High. Whatever, there are numerous reasons, or maybe they bought into this whole we all gonna be the same. We gonna, I can be just like Mr. Charlie and them, and I'm gonna raise my children with Mr. Charlie and them, and I'm gonna do all I can to assimilate and live good and take care of mine, but I'm gonna forsake the whole rest of the community so that I can have that type of attitude. Those types of sisters are going to be left holding the bag when it's all said and done. Everybody gonna forget how you've been used to save America and how they boosted y'all up. They're rolling back this diversity, equity, and inclusion stuff. Everybody getting rid of it. So sisters ain't got no jobs no more. Nobody really caring about race. They've been pimped and pimped out, and everything is done. Black women get ready to be held, stuck holding this bag, and by just the face of someone who looks like us, but they ain't us. But at the end of the day, the illusion, or the mask, the image of a black woman leading the country as it falls, that's gonna be on us. Everybody gonna be looking at us. People gonna be hating us. They're not gonna be mad at black men, because guess what? Black men ain't checking for sisters. They're not co-signing this, and they're not engaged in the political process in the ways that our uh, parents were. So it's very interesting watching this happen, and watching spiritually how, the falling away is happening. You're seeing the men, they come out of the churches. They're not a part of that anymore. Like black men, Israelite men are awakened, and they're doing their own thing. They're having their own conversations. They're trying to figure out, how do we get out of this mess? But you have these women who are so enamored with Babylon, and they love her food. They want her treasures. They want to be accepted. And they believed all the lies that will have been fed to them by these eugenics folks, that have used those mental and physical methods to like strip us of our culture, strip our men away from our homes, to make us hate having children, to make us hate our children, to make us mistreat our children. I'm saying our because I am a African American black woman, but I don't, engage in any of these activities. But the end is here, and it's here when they went to go grab. They're gonna go grab a black woman. They don't call the mammies to clean up until they done told this mother sucker down to the floor. They don't want you until you got to nurse their children. They don't want you to. They done tore up stuff. They want you to help come rebuild it back, or they need a scapegoat, and we're always the scapegoats. So even though we know she's not one of us, the world listens to, oh, she says she's black. She's the first, this, that, and they love to toss out black because, you know, it's trendy. But we're getting ready to be saddled with this label of being the head and faces of Babylon as it falls. It's not by accident. They're making the whole world hate us. And then they're grooming us spiritually. They're grooming us with this predictive programming. You're seeing these images. They're getting ready to, have Cammy everywhere, just, traipsing around in her little suit, the same color suits that's on The Simpsons. Notice this suit color right here is the same exact suit and the pearls that the little girl Lisa had on in the Simpsons episode when she became president. Look, this stuff is orchestrated. We can sit around and act like it's not. We can pretend like we don't know what's going on. But y'all better get ready. especially sisters. But it doesn't matter if it is sisters, brothers, we all need to be ready because they are setting us up to be the scapegoats for the fall. We did not tear this country up because we were not allowed to have any control. Here we are at the very end, and they go grab all these black women and black men, raccoons, sellouts, and put them as the faces of progress, diversity, equity, and inclusion. And this whole thing getting ready to fall down. They're getting ready to kick the legs out from under this country because they're ready to take it down so they can institute this new system. They already got the new currency system set up. They're ready to come go live by September, from my understanding, according to BRICS. A lot of these other countries already have their digital currencies that they want to use. The countries that want to be a part of BRICS have been steadily developing their digital currencies, and all the wars that need to take place are happening or getting ready to happen. So everything is in place. So they're getting ready to start deconstructing everything, except they're going to accelerate the agenda. It's accelerating. And so this is why you see them go grab up Sister Girl, put her in position, and she's going to be the face of the fall. So between now and whenever whoever is elected, if the election happens, takes the oath of office, you will see the bottom getting ready to fall out. So y'all need to be ready. I'm telling you, be ready. They are scapegoating us. And y'all know they have this belief that nothing good comes from us. All we do is tear up and destroy. We don't do nothing right. Y'all know all the tropes they got. So this ain't gonna be nothing different. We over here minding our business, not doing nothing, but the raccoon class got us set up to be scapegoats. And this is why all skin folk ain't kinfolk. And we are really going to have to get that in our systems. We cannot trust every black person. And it's not just the black people who you see that are in power. It's your black local leaders. It's your black preachers. It's your black, um, you know, uh, government officials, civil servants, all these people that are in these positions, they still there. They ain't walking away. They ain't telling. They ain't helping. These people are selling us out. They're going to work with the system to help scapegoat us. So we have to be aware of what's happening. And even if you are one of those people, you ain't sounding the alarm. You will betraying your people. You are setting your folks up for slaughter. And these people, you see how happy she's smiling and cackling and lying. They don't care. They got a bunker. Or they think they're gonna go in a bunker, but they all the tools gonna be broken. But they don't know that yet. They just think, oh, it's gonna be a wonderful day. We're gonna do A B C D E F G. Everybody gonna have their day who's participating in harming Yasharel. And all these different people. We don't even know the ethnicities and nationalities. A lot of these people not even African American black people. A lot of these people are immigrants, descendants of, um, first generation and second generation immigrant families. So they don't really care about us. They don't have the connections to us. But some of these people are us, and all they care about is climbing the ladder. All these tools will be broken. We will get an opportunity to see them be broken, but not before they bring us down and not before they make us as a collective be scapegoated. So, all these black people who are in power, who have been in power, in the highest offices of the land where it counts, they're going to have us somewhere in close proximity where we can be blamed or scapegoated. And I don't think it's an accident that they have picked Scammy to be the vice president, um, who's going to be promoted to president. I would keep an eye on this. um, I really would. I would keep an eye on this because something ain't right. It's a dead cat on the line. Um, she didn't do good when she was running on her own, and they chose her to be vice president. Why would they pick her to run for president and pull the whole um, party down? Because people don't like her. White men not gonna vote for her because they don't want no white woman running. They don't want a black woman running the country and ruling over them. To them, that's an affront. Black people don't like her because of her policies related to when she was a prosecutor and an attorney general in California. Um, a lot of people don't like her because of her proximity to Obama. All these different um, uh, issues. She wasn't a good fundraiser. She couldn't raise money. And they act like black women saved her. No, black women didn't save her. What saved her was a white man coming in and picking her and validating her, because on her own, she didn't do well. And because black people have such a short-term memory, um, it's easy to scoot her in and then sell her as she's saving America. So they want to make it seem like, oh, the black mammies are coming in to save America. No, we ain't. I'm watching this mug burn to the ground. I ain't putting my hands on nothing. If it don't got nothing to do with African American black people, descendants of chattel slavery, I am not concerned. And if the Gentiles who cleave unto us ain't over here in our spaces mingling and talk, I ain't concerned about them either, because they're doing the bidding of the system, and so they deserve what they get in any event. This woman is chosen for a reason, and it is to scapegoat all of us so that when this next system comes in, we will be seen as throwaways. We will be seen as trouble. We will be unwanted. It will be easy for everybody in the world, the Confederacy formed against us, to do things to us, to help create policies that harm us, to keep us at the bottom, to carry us off and put us in these camps so they can do whatever they got planned to do to us. This is what's happening. So you got to pay attention to the grooming process, because this process right here, this is a very dangerous time for us. A lot of our people don't know it, but it is. They do not give us nothing until it's raggedy, tore up. And I'll give you an example before I end this video. White people in this little town that I used to live in controlled the county council and city council forever. They always had the one or two token blacks who represented their little raggedy districts that they never did nothing in. And around 2000, say 10, they started divesting from parks and recreation. And our kids like to play. And so Parks and Recreation is a big thing in our community, because one, it keeps our kids involved in stuff, keeps them out of trouble. It taught them teamwork, um, just a lot of different things. It was a vital part of our communities. Well, the white people on the county council was like, we getting ready to get rid of Parks and Rec. If parents want that, they can send their kids to the Y. Well, you black people can't afford to send their kids to the Y. We didn't have no money for no memberships. We pay taxes, but they took our tax money and gave it to the Y and bust a couple of little black children over there to the Y, and shut down the recreation center in the black community, which they had allowed to just fall to the wayside for decades. They had a pool that wasn't grounded right. They never fixed it. They wouldn't invest in it. They had all these corporations coming in. They were giving them tax breaks. All these new businesses and restaurants, they give them tax breaks and incentives. Never invested in the black community. And the black community, unfortunately, never paid any attention to the fact that this was happening. So when they decided to close this facility down, first they closed the pool, so the pool could not open because it wasn't grounded right, and you could get in it and be electrocuted. Yeah, that part. But the white people had the why. They built them a place that wasn't public, so they didn't have to get in the pool with us. And as a matter of fact, this place that I'm talking about, it was built during segregation, so it was just for black people because the white people had their own stuff. Um, and then this place, this facility, also had a basketball court and like a kitchen. So they were allowing the kids to go in and play basketball, and they would have like Thanksgiving dinners and do the free lunch program and stuff there. Well, they closed the whole thing down, and they decided to get rid of it. And they gave the place away for $1 to somebody that they knew. But my point is, they gave it to black people after the white people had it and let it just go to hell, just ran it in the ground. They had black people working there, but nobody in the community could do anything to the facility because the county, it was a government property, so you couldn't do anything. There was no public private partnership. So now this building just sits empty. It needs to be torn down. Nobody's tearing it down. Um, Nobody's doing anything. And the person that they gave the building to didn't do anything with it. They took it and sold it to a professional athlete who had it and didn't do nothing to it. And now the building still sits. But my point about it all is, the white people were like, well, black people, we gave it to black people. They didn't do nothing with it. And it's just sitting there, it's run down, it's raggedy. But the whole, however long the county been there, however long the county had Parks and Rec, however long, it's been since they built that building, probably in the 50s, 60s, whenever it was built till now, it's there. And when they had it up until 2010 or whenever they got rid of it, they didn't do nothing to it. They didn't care about it. They let it go down and they built their own thing and they created something totally different so that they could get out of Parks and Recreation, have their own private nonprofit stuff where you had to pay memberships to come to join, and the public stuff was no more. So they tore down the civic center, they tore down everything, and they had one little thing in the community that just basically was a soccer field, and a soccer slash football field. And now the Hispanics have moved into the community and taken that over. And so black people don't have nothing. But my point is that when we did have something, and taxpayers were paying for it because black people owned property and paid taxes, they did not take care of our stuff. They took care of their stuff. And then as they got to divest, because now the whole thing is they need more money for police, because when they got rid of the Parks and Rec, they needed more police, because guess what? The kids don't have nothing to do. So they're out and joining gangs and running the street, shooting up the mall and breaking in folks' house, selling dope and doing all manner of stuff. But that was all a part of their plan. Same methodology here. America has divested from America. They've used our money to fund everything else and everybody else outside of this country, and did not invest in us. They didn't invest in our infrastructure. They didn't invest properly in public education. And the whole world is passing us by, and we're like dinosaurs. And most people here are lost, so they don't know what's going on. But now that it's falling apart and it's ready to, they're getting ready to kick the last leg from under the table. Here, niggas, y'all can have the whole country. We're gonna let y'all run it. You done tore it up. There's nothing left. There's nothing left. Everything is just tore up. Education system screwed up. The monetary system screwed up. The economy is screwed up. The nation's morals and values and culture has always been screwed up. Um, Everything is screwed up. The food is screwed up. The water is screwed up. Everything. The employment system. screwed up, wages screwed up. Everything is just an illusion. And now the scam is up, the Ponzi scheme is over. Here y'all go, niggas. We're gonna pick you. You can run it. We know you can right the ship. You can't fix this. You can't fix it. All you can do is hold on to the reins and hope you don't break your neck as it's falling down. And that is what's happening. So do not underestimate the spiritual ramifications of this particular time. Our people are getting ready to be scapegoated. And a lot of the people who are in positions are not even us. They just look like us. But the raccoon class done sold us out. And they're going to use that raccoon class as the face of the fall of Babylon. And we are going to be scapegoated from now until, whenever they decide to do whatever with those who make it past the sword in the next kingdom, if that's what you want to call it, or next system, next government, the worldwide government. So be ready, because this is a dangerous time for us. It's a dangerous time for Black women. Black women, please do not let yourselves be gassed up by this whole Black feminism movement. Oh, Black women, we're uh, we're gonna save America. We're gonna fix this. We're making headway. No, baby, they don't give you nothing unless you the last. We are always last. We're the last ones to get the right to vote. Everybody got the right to vote before Black women. We're the last people to get anywhere. We're the first persons they come and get when they want to get stuff cleaned up and when they need a scapegoat. Or when they want to screw with us, because guess what? Taking us out of order, from under the order of, men that's being had, destroys the order of the community. So when they come and get us, we're so naive about the devices of the adversary. We don't even really realize what they're doing. So they know who to come to. And I'll just give you another example. Just like the adversary went to Eve, and Eve uh, had a whole conversation with the adversary and took the fruit from the tree. Same thing now. The adversary knows who to come and get. Women, Black women, Israelite women. We ain't finna do right. We hard headed, stiff necked. We want to do what we want to do. We ain't gonna listen. We don't like the order of the Most High. We don't want to be submitted to the man. We don't want to do stuff the way that the Most High told us to do, and we always end up paying a price for that. So remember that lesson. Do not follow these heifers. And yes, I'm calling them heifers, like old Black country women. They're heifer. Don't follow these heifers. These heifers are scapegoating us. They are getting ready to lead us into a place that we ain't never been before. And you think it's bad now. You think it's been bad uh, the last couple of years. We ain't seen nothing yet. When this thing falls, y'all know the pilgrims gonna, first thing they're gonna do with that nigger, they're gonna go from whatever all these things they call her, she gonna be a nigger. And then all of us gonna get grouped in, because we don't get to be individuals. Black people cannot be individuals. White people, the only people can say, "Oh, my people didn't own slaves. I didn't do that. I am not racist. I." They don't ever want to be grouped in with their nation of people. But Black people, y'all, look at Chicago with the blacks finna be blamed for the fall of Babylon. And so I just want to share with y'all, be ready. Be ready for the scapegoating. Be ready for the emotional abuse. Be ready for physical abuse. And what you also have to be mindful of is while we are talking about us, we need to pay particular attention to our children, because our children are getting ready to go back to school. They are going to be punished by these witches in these classrooms. So you need to be mindful of what's going on with your children in these schools. I wish we had a way that we could just not even have to go, but I know a lot of people got to work. There are a lot of people who have to rely on this system for the time being. But remember, your children are also in the belly of the beast, and your grandchildren. So we have to be mindful of not only protecting ourselves, but we have an obligation to protect the young people in our community. And it ain't just your children, it's all of our children. We have an obligation to treat our children in our community as they are our own. So we got to be our brother's keeper, whether it be by telling folks what's going on or speaking out when things starting to get rough, or challenging the adversary when they try to challenge us. But we cannot accept responsibility for any of this that's going on, because we have never been in charge. We have never been able to have any control. We have never been allowed to do anything, and we are not about to assume responsibility right now. Give them their credit. They tore it up. They need to see the writing on the wall, and they need to fix it. They need to be angry at their people because we did not do this. But because it's right at the tail end and they stick old sister girl, uh, Miss HBCU, ski wee, sorority girl in the place with the face, the black face in the high place, to slide her into position, we, us Negroes, are going to end up getting a backlash for the fall, because she's going to have the reins. Make sure you are ready for what's coming spiritually and physically, because it's going to be rough on our people. You think it was bad when Obama got elected and you saw how these folks was acting? Oh, you ain't seen nothing yet, baby. These folks already are not happy about her on a ticket. And of course, they're gonna be trying to scramble and get all these other different people to come. But ain't finna be no good choice, cause ain't no good choices, and it's by design. So it is what it is. But I just want to come and say that this is a setup for our people. And I'll link the video to the black faces in high places with all the different people I told y'all we need to be watching out for. There are plenty of them, but you will see what's been happening to these black people and how they have been um, pegged and labeled and berated by them folks after they was groomed to be placed where they are now. So it's a very interesting time, but don't put yourself in that position. That's all I'm gonna say. You this is a time that you cannot be lukewarm, and you can't be no raccoon, because raccoons getting ready to get their day, not just by the system, the dominant society, but also those people who are awakened, because black people are not tolerating raccoons. There is a segment of the population who just ain't tolerating them no more. They calling them out, and they're not associating with them. So there's a time coming where raccoons are not going to have a place to hide. So just make sure you're not being in the raccoon class. We don't need no raccoons and no what the little man name from the Django. I can't think his name, but we don't need them. And we're not gonna have them. We're not tolerating them anymore. So not only are we calling them out, but we're not giving them any place to hide. They're not gonna be able to come back and be like, "Oh yeah, my people." No, who you talking about? Cause we ain't claiming you. We ain't claiming you overtly, so you can't come back. And that's the attitude that we need to have. Otherwise, we're all going to be doomed, because these people are going to make it so that we're going to be the scapegoats. And so all of us don't need to be scapegoats. So come out of this system, be aware of what it's trying to do to us, and move accordingly. All right, y'all. This is Marley K. Love y'all, and I'm out.